horoscope. Hi everybody, glad to see y'all here. Okay, so yes, we're getting into your horoscope, but here's the twist, is that by your zodiac sign and what you have coming up for you this year, I'm also going to be recommending a dossier perfume, because obviously we're on dossier.co. And so what this perfume does is that essentially in perfume, there are energetic components that are going to help you attract certain types of energy into your life. So like whatever is coming to you in 2024, I've kind of calculated your little horoscopes. I've got a few pages. And so from that, there are certain ingredients in each perfume that are going to like help you attract that into your life much more smoothly. So I'm also kind of going to be like mixing this in with a little bit of advice for you guys. But first, before we get into anything, because I know that this is a horoscope and I know that some of you guys, you know, you may have been looking at social media on your phone, or like you may have been busy all day today, whatever it is, I'm going to center your energy with a sound bowl. So just breathe with me, because not only are you going to get prepared to hear like the horoscope and what you've got coming up and some advice and perfume recommendations, it's also going to center you so that you're very clear on which one you want to get, because I really want you to watch this for your sun, your moon, or your rising, especially your rising sign if you don't watch any other one, but especially those three. So it's really going to be up to you to decide which one, or, you know, which ones of these that you're going to buy based off of, you know, the horoscope that you're resonating with the most. So let's go ahead. Breathe in through the nose. And slowly breathe out through the nose. One more breath in. So now let's go ahead and get started with the horoscopes. So also, if you guys are just getting here, this will also stay up on dossier.co. So if you miss a certain zodiac sign, don't worry, because it will be up on there. And I'm also going to post it on my YouTube sometime later on. So the way that we're going to organize this is that we're going to go through the elements, right? We're going to go through the fire elements, the air element, the earth elements, and then water for the last bit of it. So yes, also if you're just getting here, make sure you watch for your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, especially for your rising. That's really what I prefer for you guys to do. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with Aries, okay? So Aries, oh my god, the year that y'all are about to have, it's basically like you guys are going to be maturing and increasing your reliability, as well as your physical health. Like you may be in the gym a lot more, your money, and the way that you express yourself. And so pretty much the biggest blessing that you have in your life is pretty much money, and then friends, because Jupiter's in your second house. It's going to be moving into your third house pretty much through the second half of the year. And so I have recommended Ambery Saffron for my Aries babes. It's very similar to MFK's Baccarat Rouge 540. That's kind of like what it smells like. And the reason that I've kind of recommended this scent for you guys is because I was really looking for something that was going to keep you guys grounded. It's going to boost the trust that you have within yourself. It's going to help you stay more reliable. And also it's going to help you with money things. And the way that I decided, like, okay, how do you know what this perfume does, right? I went in and as you can see, like on all of the notes right here, you can essentially just Google like the spiritual meaning of each of these notes, and it's going to tell you. And so like the combination of these things is really how I crack down, okay, that's what I want for the Aries, right? So essentially it has saffron in it, which is known as like the world's most expensive spice. I don't really know how accurate that is anymore, but that was what it was coined. And that's because it attracts wealth, passion, spiciness, if you know what I mean. It also has jasmine in it, which is very calming. It soothes anxiety. It promotes love and spiritual connection, and especially as you guys are dealing with a lot of power dynamics in your career and also in your friend groups, is like Pluto kind of moves throughout your 10th house of career through 11th house of friends. There's a lot that's changing for you guys, and I think you guys are taking up a lot more responsibility in your career and also in your finances with, like, you know, all of these changes happening there. Pluto is kind of like the big money sign. So like I think if you guys kind of really focus your energy on becoming more successful, this would really help you out. Also because there's cedar wood in here too, which is like very good for protection. It's very good for money and personal power, which I feel like Aries don't really struggle with personal power, but nothing wrong with amplifying it, you know? So also the Mercury retrogrades this year are going to be in your first house, your fifth house, and your ninth house, because Mercury is going to be retrograde in all the fire signs. So especially if you're an Aries rising, you'll definitely find that there's going to be some changes in the way that you express yourself, especially around April when Mercury is retrograde in Aries. I have an Aries Venus, so that's going to be right on my Venus, so like I'm very interested to see what's going to come of that. So yeah, and also with a retrograde in your fifth house, pretty much over the summer, I think the way that you express love too is going to be changing. So, you know, Amber Saffron is really good to have on hand. So yeah, now let's go ahead and get into Leo. Okay, so my Leos, oh my god, y'all have such a big like boss babe energy, and that's why Amber Saffron is one of the perfumes that I've recommended for you guys, but I've actually recommended a male or like sort of like masculine type of scent as well, which is called Amber Mint, and these actually pair, oh my god, so good on top of each other. So hold on, let me get some of that strength going. Okay, so essentially the reason that I recommended these is because I was overall looking for a scent to complement your urge to boss up this year, and also to discover like-minded individuals as you really strive for professional success. Also something for financial abundance, which if you just watch the Aries reading, then you know that like Amber Saffron is very good for welcoming in money, welcoming in wealth. And so Leos, you guys have Jupiter in your 10th house, right? And so that is where the biggest blessings are going to come for you guys. The 10th house is all about career. It's all about, you know, your reputation, your status in this world. And I've noticed like 10th house activations can kind of cause people to go viral or they'll blow up. They'll kind of be everywhere. And especially because you also have Uranus up there, it can be very like random type of blessings that are coming towards you, especially like, I believe it's around March or April where Jupiter and Uranus are going to they're going to essentially meld energy together, and that is where a lot of career stuff, whether it's promotion, whether it's your business, whether it's just your reputation, like your social media, whatever that is really going to speed up quicker than the speed of light, if you ask me. And so essentially, let's get into the energetic properties of like what's in here, right? We have an Amber Mint. I love this so much. It smells just like Versace's Arrows. And like, listen, I know like if you're not usually into cologne or if you're not usually into masculine scents, this smells, what is the word? Like sultry. Like almost like you'd want to wear it in the bedroom in a way, and then layering these, oh my god. So yeah, mint essentially has prosperity attached to it energetically, money, and it helps you to really focus. And like, I have actually made the mistake once of spraying Amber Mint before I went to bed, and I was just up, I don't know, racking my brain on creative ideas that I wanted to do. So like, spray this in the daytime for sure, not right before you go to sleep, but like if you're going to be in the bedroom and you're going to be awake, I recommend it, but it's not something that you want to spray before sleeping. So it also has tonka bean in it, which is very good for luck, fortune, prosperity, and expansion. And if you want to know where I'm looking at my laptop because like I printed out a long list of things. It also has geranium, which is very good for socialization, and especially as we get into the second half of 2024, that's where a lot of the socialization is going to come from. You know, Jupiter is going to be in your 11th house, so you're really going to be attracting in like your like almost like soul tribe in a way, or like just the people who vibe with you. Like you're going to be vibing with friends, people, your audience, even your social media. So like even if it's not a new friend group that you're pulling in, it's going to be like the people who follow you on social media and like your mutuals and stuff. Those are going to be the people that you are meant to connect to. And then Amber Saffron has cedar wood in it. It's very good for protection, especially from the evil eye, which, you know, as you become more successful and you're bossing up this year, very much necessary. It's also very calming and it helps to soothe anxiety. So I do think like when sprayed together, if you wanted to spray, because I personally, look, I'm a Taurus sun, so like I always spray perfume before going to bed. I feel I haven't sprayed these together going to bed yet, but I feel like if I did, the jasmine would kind of help to calm me down, and I don't think it would keep me up the way it did if I just sprayed this one by itself. It also has saffron in it, which is known as like the world's most expensive spice, and it's very good for passion and bedroom spiciness, if you know what I mean. So honestly, pairing these together helps you smell like money. It helps you to attract that into your life as well. So look, all I'm saying, also you have like Saturn in your 8th house too, which is like the 8th house is all about these deep, very financial things, but also very spiritual things. So that's where you're really getting established. So, you know, these are really going to help you out on that journey. So let me put this back because it has to be nice looking. Okay. All right. So my Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising, let me slide on down to what I've got for y'all. Okay. Also, if you're just getting here, make sure you watch for your sun, your moon, or your rising sign. If you're going to be getting the perfumes for all of them, I'm pretty sure Dossier has this thing on dossier.com, so don't forget to pull it up on like a separate device so you can kind of like scroll through so that you don't have to like click out of mine. So yes, I totally forgot what I was saying, because let's get into Sagittarius. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure if you buy like 3, you get like free shipping. So like, listen, if you're getting for your big 3, that's all I'm saying, you know. So yeah, Sagittarius, the overall energy for you guys is love, work, and stability. And oh my god, okay, so Sagittarius, you guys are really going through this big like emotional level up, but also in your love life. So like Sagittarius, throughout like the beginning of 2024, like the first half, I would say there's really going to be a lot of like promotions in your work life, because Jupiter, which brings the biggest blessings in your life, is currently in your 6th house in Taurus, like as we speak. So this is where, you know, a lot of work that you're doing is probably going to please you, or you're going to be making more money from it. You may be like opening up more streams of income. Also Jupiter in the 6th house can bring you a really good like gym routine. That's kind of what I was doing when I had Jupiter in my 6th. Like I taught myself how to weight train in the gym. But like the star of 2024 is that Jupiter is going to be in your 7th house of other people and relationships and marriage. So like some of you guys who've been in a committed relationship for a really long time, expect, you know, maybe some level ups, maybe some proposals, maybe to just get more clear on what you want for like a very good and happy partnership. Now, the reason that I recommended Citrus Peony to you guys, which by the way, it smells like Dior's Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, is because I was really looking for a scent that's going to help you lean into your newfound intimacy in your love life. It's really going to keep you grounded though, so that you can have pretty good discernment when choosing them, because another thing too is that Jupiter being in your 7th house is really going to bring out multiple choices, especially because Jupiter is going to be in a mutable sign, and mutable signs represent more than one, you know what I mean? So like you may find yourself having to choose between multiple different options. And so I also think like the energy of the Citrus Peony that's energetically in here, and we'll break down the ingredients in just a second, but it's going to help you stay grounded and motivated to choose a partner who is going to be good for you, like to choose a partner who is going to influence you well, and also to like, you know, tick all your boxes that you would want out of a lover. You're also going to be navigating your professional promotions and physical fitness improvements, which I had said earlier. And then especially in the 2nd half, you're just going to be looking like a snack to everybody, and you're going to be smelling like a snack to everybody too if you have Citrus Peony on. So essentially what this has in it is bergamot. Let me tell you about what bergamot does energetically, right? It's all about attracting prosperity. It's all about long-lasting love. And I think that's what you guys are really going to want while Jupiter is in your 7th house. Like, I honestly think you should take advantage of it. I think that you should really lean into opening up, even if you've, like, been through some, like, darker relationships before. I say, like, luck is going to be on your side throughout this time. Also, there's rose, which is in here, which is all about love, sensuality, and understanding. So I think like even if there are little issues that you're having with people romantically, the rose is really going to help bring out that understanding. Not only are you going to be attracting understanding lovers, but you're also going to be more understanding yourself. Peony also repels negativity and the evil eye. And you know, anytime you like come out with a new lover or something, you post them on your Instagram, whatever, there's always going to be a little bit of an energetic shift now that more people know there's evil eye involved, there's jealousy involved, there's their past exes, your past exes, people who may not agree or whatever. And I'm not saying it's always going to be like that, but I do think it's smart to have citrus peony in your back pocket, you know, to repel some of that evil eye. And the last thing that's in here is blackcurrant, which clears your aura of negativity. This is going to be very important because you may be very protected from evil eye, but it's like, if it's surrounding you, then it may just like impact you in a way. So it's also very good for handling intense situations where you may feel like you're under pressure, like, you know, having to choose between more than one love option, or like having to choose between, okay, am I going to say yes or am I going to say no to this proposal? Is this proposal what I want? Blackcurrant is really going to help you stay grounded, especially as you make these really big choices. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into the air signs. And also, if you're just getting here, by the way, don't forget to pull up dossier.co. Sorry, I keep like accidentally saying the wrong thing, just because I'm American, so I'm so used to the .com, but it's dossier.co, just to make sure that we're all clear on that one. Pull it up on a different device so that you can keep me going in the background. Watch for your sun, your moon, or your rising. And hi everybody, if you are a Gemini sun, moon, or rising, please let me know, how are you feeling right now? Jupiter is currently in your 12th house, and essentially what that does is you may be having like a very big spiritual awakening, or you may be having like this huge improvement of your mental health. And so I've actually recommended Ambery Mint, where is it? And floral lavender for you guys. So I have a masculine scent and I have a feminine scent. Honestly, I prefer both of them together, and there's a reason why I've recommended two, but we'll get into that. Let's get into your horoscope first really quick, okay? So Geminis, overall, I think you guys are really improving in your mental health. Whether you're a sun, a moon, rising, doesn't matter, especially if you're a rising though. You may be establishing like kind of like these daily routines, mental health routines, like taking a walk in nature every day, or maybe it's working out, whatever it is that releases stress for you. I think you've identified that, and it's really going to help you as you go through this huge glow up as Jupiter moves into your sign in May 2024. So you guys also have Saturn in your 10th house, and the most prominent Gemini rising that I can think, or actually there's two of them. There's Jack Harlow and there's Monet McMichael. I'm a very big fan of both of them, and I think it's really cool how Saturn in their 10th house has kind of been solidifying their place in their like retrospective like or prospective fields. So like Monet, obviously, you know, she's like a very big influencer. She's just so bubbly and she's so inviting, and her content is just so down to earth and relatable that it's like almost hard for people not to like her, in my opinion. And then Jack Harlow, he's also been, you know, he has like Love It On Me has been #1 for like a really long time. I actually saw the other day that of 2024 thus far, it was like the first #1 song. So love that for him. And obviously he's been working on his career since he's been like very young, like in middle school. So like this is like 10 years in the making. And so this is what I'm trying to get at with Saturn being in the 10th house, right? It's like anything that you have been working on as a Gemini, especially a Gemini rising, anything you've been working on, you will be reaping the benefits while Saturn is in your 10th house of career. And the thing is, like, a lot of people like to kind of demonize Saturn, but I don't like to, because at the end of the day, Saturn is about hard work and it's about time. It's about these things that take time, and it's about these things that you put time and dedication into. So it's like whenever you have these things that you've been working on, like Saturn prefers to bring lifelong blessings. Like the blessings are not just here for a day or two or a week or two. Saturn is here to stay, and it is here to stay for years. And so I think you're really picking up a lot of responsibility as well. And so we've also got all the Mercury retrogrades, which is like where your life is being like reconstructed. That's also going to be throughout your 3rd house, your 7th house, and your 11th house, which long story short are just very social areas. It's kind of like your relationship with your siblings, your relationship with your long-term friends, the internet. A lot of that is going to be changing, and the way that you socialize with people and who you socialize with is going to be changing. So whenever I was looking for a scent that is going to energetically help you attract the good things and repel the bad things. I was looking for a loud scent that encourages your connection with the divine, especially as Jupiter's in your 12th house of mental health. And it's also going to refine your personal power and your confidence, as well as your financial responsibility. So Ambry Mint, what this one does, especially if you've been watching my live thus far, I've already talked about this, I think twice, but Ambry Mint is very good for prosperity because mint itself vibrates at the frequency of money and focus and prosperity, and it also has tonka bean in it, which is very similar to Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is going to be in your sign, so obviously you can see why I chose this one. It also has geranium in it, which is very good for oh my god, I can't read, socialization, and also meeting new people. So geranium is really going to help you, especially, you know, Jupiter's in Gemini. You guys are naturally kind of chatty, you guys naturally attract in a lot of people, and I also think that having the floral lavender is going to help you discern who out of all of these people that you're attracting in are meant to stay in your life. Excuse me. And that's because floral lavender has blackcurrant in it. So it's actually right here. It's in one of the top notes. So a top note essentially means that you're going to be smelling it for about like 20 to 30 minutes before it gets into the core of the perfume. And obviously depending on your skin and your skin's chemistry, it's really going to affect how this smells on you. But let me tell you, it's beautiful. You know, blackcurrant is very good for clearing your aura of negativity and also handling intense situations where you might feel under pressure, which is necessary because you guys have Saturn in your 10th house. So like you're going to be making these decisions that are going to alter the course of your life as you know it, because your 10th house is more than just your career and your reputation, you know, it's also your overall life path. So this is where I think you're going to be more sober minded than you've ever been concerning your career. It also has neroli in it, which is very good for protection from negativity, doubt, and the evil eye, which very necessary if you're dealing with all of these up levels. You know, what is it that this actually, it's a Jack Harlow lyric, but I'm sure it's like a proverb or something from way back when, which is like new levels, new devils. So it's like the more you glow up, the more you're going to be dealing with the negative side of being successful, which is that evil eye, and it's like, you know, haters online or something. So neroli is going to be very good for helping to protect your energy out of this, and that's in floral lavender, by the way, which smells like Yves Saint Laurent's Libre or Libra. Oh, and also Ambry Mint smells just like Versace's Arrows. So these, I would say they're staples for 2024. Don't forget to pull up dossier.co on a different little tab and add it to the cart, babes. Add it to the cart. So it also has lavender in it, which is very good for peace. And it kind of repels anxiety, which is going to be very helpful for you guys because y'all have a very big year of making important decisions. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into Aquarius. After I organize this, because it has to be fine. Okay. Okay, my Aquarius babes. Okay, y'all are going through the biggest life changes of all of the signs. Like literally when I was making it, I don't know if you can see how big all that is, but it's like literally y'all have a lot coming to y'all. Like I literally say, and I put in stars, like this is the sign that is experiencing the most change in love, career, self-worth, money, and more. Babes, okay. So listening ears on, because essentially the Aquarius people, what's really changing for you guys is that Pluto is going to be moving into your sign. Now the thing is, Pluto has been kind of dipping in and out of the same two signs for about a year now, and so as Pluto moves into Aquarius, kind of in actually like in a few weeks, I think sometime this month, and essentially what that does is it's going to be bringing a lot of power to you. And I think the truth is that power isn't good or bad. I think it really just depends what you do with it. You can use your power and your platform for good or bad. So like depending on, you know, the type of person you are, it's going to make you more of yourself. Now, another thing too is that Pluto, it transforms things, period. So like just having Pluto in your sign is going to transform every area of your life. But Pluto is not the only astrological indicator of all this change, right? So we've also got Jupiter moving from your 4th house to your 5th house. And so when it was in your 4th house, or as it's currently in your 4th house right now, until about May of 2024, this is where you're going to be having a lot of blessings to like your home life, your family life, your chosen family, your personal life, because the 4th house is at the very bottom of your birth chart, right? It's the area of you that is only seen by the people closest to you. So you may be having like a better relationship with your family, or just setting better boundaries, maybe even reconnecting with some old family as well. And then towards the second half of the year, whenever Jupiter bringing your biggest blessings, oh, you guys may have also like bought a house or like decorated your place a lot better in a way that you prefer it to be. Yeah, so as soon as Jupiter moves into your Gemini 5th house, this is where romantically you are going to be blessed, babes. Not only just romantically, but creatively. Like, Aquarius people are very known for their creativity, but this is like your out the box, like, whoa kind of moment. Like, the hobbies that you'll be experiencing around that time, like, you're just gonna be having so much more fun. And also for you guys, you have Saturn in your 2nd house, so obviously you're gonna be making very sober type of decisions concerning your money. You may be getting a lot more established financially, so this may be where the year where you like jump tax brackets. I love that for y'all. And so essentially I have recommended 2 different scents for you guys, right? So I've recommended musky oak moss and also floral rhubarb. Yeah. Okay, so one of these is a masculine scent and one of them is a feminine scent. I personally love the way that they layer. And actually, I know I've sprayed a lot of perfume thus far, but whenever I was like prepping for this video and doing my makeup and stuff, these are the 2 that I sprayed on me, because I knew that like, okay, I really want everybody to be able to channel and like really hear and feel what I'm saying. So that's why I have recommended these, because I was really looking for a scent for you guys to embody your strength and your sensuality, spiciness, because Jupiter in the 5th house is also quite spicy in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. At the same time as you're going through so many life changes in 2024. So this is, yeah, the sign that is experiencing the most love, career, self-worth, money changes, all of that. It's going to be a very eventful year for y'all, intense changes on all fronts. And you know, you're going to have a stronger sense of self, financial responsibility, huge glow ups. Like, oh my gosh. So now let's go ahead and get into the energetic components of these. We're going to start off with musky oak moss, okay? So musky oak moss has oak moss in it, which is very good for money, independence, and your stability. But it also has rose in it, which is very good for attracting understanding. It vibrates at the frequency of understanding. And I actually saw somewhere that rose is like the highest vibing like plant out there, so it never hurts to have any sort of fragrance with rose in it. It's also very good for love and sensuality, so that goes on both fronts. You know, you are going to be vibing at the frequency of love, but you're also going to be attracting people who are also vibing at the frequency of love and success and everything in here. It also has patchouli in it, which is very good for personal growth, freedom, and romantic sensuality. So you know, that Jupiter in the 5th house, love that for y'all. So the floral rhubarb, what really attracted this to me, or what really attracted me to this scent for you guys, is that it has rhubarb in it, right? Which is very good for amplifying your energy and amplifying the energy of everything else that's in this fragrance and everything else around you. So like, even if it's your crystals, like spraying this floral rhubarb around while you're holding a crystal, even onto some of your crystals, may help to amplify that energy. Think about it like the clear quartz of fragrance, if that makes sense. You know how quartz kind of amplifies everything? Very good. And so it also has cedar wood in it, which is very good for protection, money, and helping you to really step into your personal power. Now, the thing is, Aquarius, is that the challenges of this year will come from not knowing your power, giving too much of your power away. And what do people mean when they say giving your power away, right? Whenever you give your power away, it's when you're allowing something to influence you to the point that it's like decreasing your quality of life. So like, let's say you're stuck in traffic and like someone, I don't know, like flips you off or honks their horn at you, and then you spend the rest of the day upset because of what they did to you, even though you didn't make them do that. That is just them and who they are. So it's like, being upset about something like that is giving your power away. And so spraying the floral rhubarb is going to help you to keep your power to yourself. Like, you know, you have control over you, your reactions, your thoughts. Everything else outside of you, that it's nothing to do with you. And so it also has daffodil in it, which is very good for regeneration and self-love, which I think is going to be very important as you have a very intense planet in your sign. And also peach battles negativity. So that's another reason why I think floral rhubarb is going to be very good to have on your shelf this year, especially if you're an Aquarius rising. Oh my god, and it smells so good. It's kind of similar to Marc Jacobs Perfect, and if you want to get like a good palette of what musky oak moss might smell like, it kind of smells like Creed's Aventus. So period. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the earth signs, because babes, the earth signs have been, for the past few years, going through this interesting thing where like their whole lives have been questioned, because Mercury, when it goes retrograde in like the same element. And also, hi everybody, if you're just getting here, don't worry, because this video is going to stay up on dossier.co. Make sure that you pull up a separate little tab in your browser or on a separate device. Go to dossier.co. Definitely look for your sun, your moon, or your rising, especially your rising sign. Like, if I had to say, like, buy whichever perfume, I would say get your rising signs, but it's whichever one you resonate with, like whichever one you want the most. Like, say for example, you're like an Aquarius rising, but you have like a Sagittarius moon, and you really want to focus a lot more on getting that romance into your life, then maybe get the Citrus Peony, because that one is going to be vibing at the frequency of romance a lot more. Like, if it really, just pick which sign that you want their blessings the most, if that makes sense. But yeah, so Taurus, my babes. I am a Taurus sun. My big three is actually Taurus, Pisces, and Leo. Okay, so my Taurus babes are really going through a glow up, but this is a glow up that has been in progress ever since May of 2023, when Jupiter entered your sign. Now, if you know anything about astrology, you know that Jupiter is one of the benefics, and a benefic basically means that it brings a lot of blessings into your life. So having Jupiter move from the first house into the second house of money, that is your territory, okay? Because Taurus is kind of like the sign of money. They're very good at working for it. They're very good and stable about their work, very serious about their work as well. But you enjoy it. Taurus people like to do things that they like. And anything else is disgusting to them. So like, as long as they like it, that is the Taurus vibe. So you guys are also becoming more established in your online communities, or even in your friends, like local communities. Like, if you lead a book club or something, you may be like getting a lot more exposure and getting a lot more people to join your club this year. And so let me go ahead and give the scent that I recommended to you guys, because oh my gosh, Taurus as Venusians, we love these really light smelling, like floral smelling scents, and I know that the Taurus babes are really gonna love this so much. It smells just like Dior's Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the astrological things that are happening still, because the biggest areas of your life that are going to be reconsidered are going to be your 4th house, your 8th house, and your 12th house. Now, long story short, we don't have to get into like all the houses or anything. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be your relationship to your family, the way that you make these very deep soul-bearing connections, and also your spirituality and mental health. So this year, the changes are going to be very internal. So rather than the past few years where we had Mercury going retrograde in all the earth signs, and literally in Taurus in your own sign, which was a very weird and wacky time to be existing, the changes are going to be a lot more emotional and internal, and it's going to deal with your connection to the divine and what you really believe. Like, do you believe in God or not? Do you have a connection with God or not? Like, whatever you believe in, that is going to be shifting in a deeper way. And so Citrus Peony, whenever I was choosing a fragrance for you guys, the main thing I was looking for was a scent to promote confidence as you glow up, because obviously Jupiter in the first house in your sign, like, that is a huge glow up if I've ever seen one. And it's going to help you do a lot of self-discovery, and also there's going to be a lot of money and financial upgrades as you're taking up more responsibility overall. And so Citrus Peony, what it has in here is bergamot, which is very good for attraction period. So like, whatever you're attracting, you're manifesting, it's really going to help you to like spray it, and you will essentially vibrate at that energy, because it's honestly like, you can't deny how much scent can change the mood. Like, people can light a candle and it'll change the whole vibe of the room. Spraying perfume can change the whole vibe of your day. And the reason why is because there are certain ingredients here, and you can look up all the ingredients too, and all of these ingredients have spiritual frequencies that they vibe at. So not only are you spraying that on you, you'll be vibing it you know, as well, it's also going to be attracting things that vibe at this similar level too. So bergamot is very good for attracting anything, but especially prosperity and long-lasting love, because also anytime you have a planet in your first house, it's also opposing anything you may have in your seventh house or your seventh house of relationships, period. So you can't activate one house without activating the other. So as you have these glow ups for yourself personally and what you look like and, you know, who you are, your overall perspective on life, it's also glowing up your relationships too. Now, rose is also in here, which is very good for love, sensuality, and understanding. As a Taurus, that is your bread and butter. That, like, honestly, if I can say 3 things that resonate with the energy of Taurus, it's going to be love, sensuality, and understanding, but with an asterisk. Understanding that's reasonable. Like, Taurus people are not going to be understanding past the point of reason or with people who don't deserve it. No, Taurus people are very good at, you know, judging character. So love that for y'all. And now the peony also repels negativity and evil eye. And so essentially evil eye is kind of when people are kind of jealous of success, or if there's something that you want. So even if you don't perceive yourself to be successful, someone else may perceive you to have something that they want, and so unintentionally kind of send you the evil eye. And so peony does its best to kind of repel that negativity. And it also has blackcurrant in it too, which is very good for clearing your aura of negativity, also handling intense situations where you might be under pressure. And, you know, with Saturn in the 11th house, I think you're going to be making some really big decisions on, like, who are you going to keep inside your friend group? Who are you associating with? And what do these emotional connections look like? Are they reciprocal or not? And I think especially during the Mercury retrogrades, that is when that is going to be a big topic in your life. So citrus peony, you know, spraying it on might really help to lift your vibe, lift your spirits, especially if you're in a bad mood, because babes, a Taurus in a bad mood, everybody clear away, everybody clear the way. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and get into my Virgos. So Virgo, oh my god. Okay, so Virgos, the overall energy of the year for you guys is that you guys have lots of changes in your love life, the lessons that you've experienced concerning love, spiritual growth, and career growth. So that's a lot of stuff, right? So essentially you have Jupiter moving from your 9th house to your 10th house. So Jupiter in your Taurus 9th house has been kind of like, thus far, because Jupiter is still currently in the 9th house right now, it's kind of opening you up. I wouldn't be shocked if there's like a Virgo out there who's like just starting to get into acting, because I've noticed that like 9th house activations kind of coincide with people who are actors, people who want to be on social media, because the 9th house is kind of like this far-reaching type of broadcast. So especially if you want to be like on TV or in movies, I wouldn't be shocked if you guys have had a lot more luck or like booked roles or something. But as Jupiter moves into your 10th house, that's your 10th house, right? That's the career, the tip area of your chart that is seen by everybody. Because if your chart's a circle, the 10th house is here. It is literally like when the sun is there, that's when, you know, it's the brightest part of the day, otherwise known as noon. So anyway, yeah, Jupiter in your 10th house is going to be bringing a lot of responsibility in your career, and it's also going to be bringing a lot of level up. So, you know, you may be starting up a business, you may be getting promoted, taking on a lot more responsibility at work, and you may be socializing a lot more too, because you have Gemini in the 10th house. So actually a lot of Virgos may have like multiple different careers, and that's because Gemini is a mutable sign, and mutable energy represents 2 or more. So, you know, you Virgos may be very busy professionally. Now Saturn is in your 7th house, and okay, another thing that really strikes me, Saturn in the 7th house of relationships and marriage. Essentially what Saturn does is it's like a hammer, right? And a lot of people love to demonize Saturn, but here's why I like Saturn's energy. Maybe because my sun is conjunct Saturn, I don't know. But Saturn, what it does is it will destroy, like a hammer, what is not good for you. If it's bad for you, it's getting out, and it's getting out immediately. I had Saturn in my 7th house between like 2020 through 2023. Babes, it was like all bad relationships were out immediately. But also all good relationships were in. Saturn as a hammer, it can destroy what's bad and it will build up what's good and what's meant to last. So a lot of Virgos, you may be feeling a lot of pressure in your relationships, but at the end of the day, it's working in your favor. Like, you will look back at this year, and the next few years too, as Saturn's in your 7th house, and you will be like, whoa, like, I see that was like a core memory moment that changed my romantic life forever. And Virgo rising that I think of right now is Timothy Chalamet, and I don't really want to get into too much about like other people, but essentially I kind of think that the relationship he's in right now is going to last for a long time, because Saturn in the 7th house, like, when it brings blessings, it is blessings that is going to last a long time. So essentially, whenever I was choosing a scent recommendation for you guys, I was really looking for something that's going to keep your head on straight, because you're going to feel the need to be very discerning in your love life. Like, you may have been in a relationship that may have lasted like 5 years, but Saturn being in your 7th house is going to have you really evaluating what you want out of the future. Is this person aligning with what I want and what is practical for my life? Like, how are they serving my life? So I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of Virgos are like giving some people the boot, like, you know, and then aligning with people who are meant to last. So yeah, powdery orange flower, the energetic components in here are really going to help you keep your head on straight, make very good decisions. It's going to encourage stability in your relationships. Not only are you going to be vibrating at the energy of stability when spraying this on, but you're also going to be attracting people who are stable too, because the people around you are also smelling your perfume too. They're also breathing in that energy, you know what I mean? And that's why I love perfume so much. But anyway, this has tonka bean in it, which is very associated with Jupiter energy. And as a Virgo, Jupiter is currently in your 9th house, and then throughout the second half of 2024, it's going to be in your 10th house. So when you spray this, it's really going to help you step into some of those career level ups, especially in the second half of 2024. Vanilla is also in here. Also, by the way, this smells like Valentino's Voce Viva. I think I said it right. It might be Voce Viva. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, vanilla is very good at attracting sensuality and attracting emotional and physical warmth and vulnerability, because Virgos, I know you guys are very, like, you can be very type A. You're very like, I don't know, reserved, I don't know if they deserve me type of vibe. But this is really going to help you get in touch with your emotions a lot more, especially because Mercury is going to be retrograde throughout your 4th house, your 8th house, and your 12th house throughout the year. And you're like, oh my God, Destiny, what do you mean by that? Essentially, I mean your deepest connections at a soul level, like your connection with your family, your connection with your intimate partners and lovers, your relationship to the divine, to God, whatever you believe in. All of that is changing. So a lot of the changes are going to be internal. Your internal world and environment is what's shifting throughout 2024. And another thing that powdery orange flower has in here is ginger, which is very much vibrating at the frequency of power. It speeds things up and it heats romances up. So I think, like, by having this scent on and like having the people near you smelling it, I think it's also going to be heating up things that maybe would have taken a bit more time, because, you know, Saturn in the 7th house can make these relationships go a lot slower, especially if it's something that's going to last for a while. So this is kind of going to bring like an extra boost to those relationships as well. And lastly, bergamot's also in here, which is very good for attraction, prosperity, and long-lasting love. Do I need to say more? Long-lasting love, Saturn in the 7th house, like, obviously this is why I chose that for y'all. So with that being said, let's get into my Capricorn babes and what y'all have going on for 2024. Okay, Capricorns, y'all have a very lovely year waiting for you. So the overall energy of the year is going to be love, work, and self-worth. Now, what do I mean by that? So essentially, by love, Jupiter is in your 5th house right now as we speak. 5th house is very romantic. The 5th house is all about like your creations. If you have children, you may be like having them physically, or you may just be having like a better relationship with them as well. But also, if you're a creative, like if you're a writer, if you're a singer, whatever it is that you do creatively, that is going to be boosting up. And especially if you do something creative for work, it's really going to blow up. It is going to explode because Jupiter's then in the second half of the year going to move into your 6th house of work. Now the 6th house is kind of like what you do for your job, what you do every single day. So especially if you work in a creative field, like right now I'm thinking Ariana Grande off the top of my head because she's a Capricorn rising. And by the way, watch these videos for your sun, your moon, and your rising, but especially for your rising sign. And if you're going to get a scent, I definitely recommend getting the scent for your rising sign, but really just get whatever you resonate with, by the way. And also, sorry guys, if you missed one of your signs already, don't worry because this video is going to stay up on dossier.co. So yeah, don't worry if you missed missed a certain sign. Anyway, yeah, also Capricorns, you know, working very hard, you're going to be boss babe, leveling up, your status is going to be rising as well because Jupiter is going to be trining your 10th house. The trine in astrology kind of looks like this, but when there's just 2 planets involved, it kind of looks like that in the chart. But essentially this is just going to be very good for your reputation, your overall career, and overall life direction. Excuse me. Okay, so also you have Saturn in your 3rd house too, so that's where you're being established. And so this is where any relationships, contracts that you're signing, you may be like making a very big purchase, the purchase of a vehicle this year even, and that is like the energy of Saturn in your 3rd house, right? Because Saturn is where you're becoming established. Saturn essentially takes out what's not meant to serve you and it's bringing in something that's going to serve you for a very long time. Now also you have Pluto moving from your 1st house to your 2nd house, then back to your 1st house at the end of the year. Okay, so what does that mean, right? So Pluto has been in your sign since like 2008, babe. So like, especially if you're like Gen Z like me, like there isn't much life that you remember without Pluto being in your sign. And so essentially what Pluto does is it brings about these power dynamics, especially concerning work and especially concerning money, because Capricorn is the sign of like big money, big work, big business. So, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if you guys have been going through a lot of huge changes, and like, it may be normal to you because Pluto, like, you probably don't remember a lot of life without these huge changes. So it's like, to you, it may have just felt like you're just growing up like normal, but it's like, no, these changes are like long lasting in your life. And so essentially stepping into your power and keeping your power is something that you've been learning throughout these, like, what is it, like 15 years, 13 years? I'm not sure. So another area of your life that is really being changed for you guys Capricorns is your 4th house, your 8th house, and your 12th house. Long story short, that's your emotional connections. The way that you create emotional connections and the way that you enjoy them is going to be shifting, especially every single time Mercury goes retrograde this year. So I have actually recommended Spicy Orchid for you guys. Oh my gosh, my mom loves this. Like, she's obsessed with this scent, and I'm like, dude, you can't have it. I'm sorry, it's mine. And I also have to do a live with it anyway, so like, I'm sure my mom's probably watching this and buying like 10 of these. Because essentially, Capricorn, when I was looking for a scent for you guys, I was looking for a scent that's going to stabilize and motivate you in your career. And it's also going to help you embody your personal power. And also something that encourages sensuality and better boundaries in your relationships, especially as Jupiter in your 5th house is really bringing a lot of options. You know, it's like your milkshake is bringing all of them to the yard. So you got to choose wisely, okay? Especially if you're single. So Spicy Orchid, what it has is pink pepper in it, which is very good for this ferocious type of self-love, which I feel like y'all need to have, especially as Pluto's in your 1st house. It's very good for lovingly setting boundaries because there's a very kind way to do anything. And it softly repels negativity. It also has cinnamon, which is very good for repelling negativity as well, and protection. It's kind of associated with Archangel Michael or Saint Michael, if you know that's what you call him. You know, very good for protection of your loved ones, protection of whoever is smelling this and energetically, you know, taking this scent into their body. And it also attracts abundance, cinnamon. Orchid also simulates thoughtfulness, and it helps you to refine your version of self-love. And it's also very good for attraction of love. Lang Lang is also very good. It's very calming and sensual. It's also an aphrodisiac. So, you know, especially as Jupiter's in your 5th house, be careful, you know, be responsible. When you're being spicy, privately, definitely be responsible, and especially if you have the scent on, because it is going to help you vibe at the frequency of sensuality. And it's also going to help whoever is smelling it to do the same. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the water signs. Okay, my Cancers, babes, y'all have a lot going on this year, and the overall energy for y'all is soul-bearing intimacy in all of your relationships. It's very good for money, and also your career is, you know, a huge highlight of 2024 as well. Okay, so let's start off with, wait, where did I put it? Yeah, it's here. Okay. So, Cancers, you guys have Jupiter moving from your 11th house to your 12th house. So the 11th house has been, you know, just blessing your friendships and the people around you and your online presence. I'm trying to think, oh, Kaylani, if you know her, she's, or, you know, they are a very good R&B singer. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's like some very good music that comes out while Jupiter is still in their Taurus 11th house. But also Jupiter is going to be moving to your 12th house, which is very good for you behind closed doors, and you in isolation is going to bring a lot of solace to you, a lot of calmness. It is really going to recenter and bring blessings to your relationship with the divine. You've also got Saturn in your 9th house, so like definitely establishing these like religious or spiritual beliefs, or even establishing a pretty good travel routine. You know, you may be traveling quite often, or having like these traveling experiences that are really going to change your life and your perspective of the world, and thus your beliefs too. Now the Mercury retrogrades are going to be throughout your 2nd house, your 6th house, and your 10th house. So a lot of financial and professional things are going to be changing for you this year, especially whenever Mercury is retrograde. So definitely be a lot more mindful of your finances and your money anytime Mercury is retrograde in 2024. Now, I have chosen Floral Honeysuckle for you guys, which smells very similar to Gucci's Bloom. I love this, y'all. This is, honestly, I'm a Taurus, so like I love very like girly, feminine type scents. So this is perfect, okay? Now, energetically, I was looking for a scent that's going to help you ease the soul-bearing intimacy in your relationships, as well as your spiritual and financial development. Now, because the thing is that you have Pluto in your 7th house. It's been in your 7th house of relationships and marriage since like 2008. So if you're around my age, you probably don't remember much of life without Pluto being in your 7th house. And essentially what Pluto does is it brings a lot of power dynamics. It teaches you how to wield your own power, to realize the influence that you have on other people. And at the same time, it also teaches you to transform within your relationships. Like any relationship that you've had, Cancer, especially if you're a Cancer rising, it's probably a good chance that you have gone into that relationship as a very different person than you came out of the relationship. So essentially Floral Honeysuckle has sandalwood in it, which is going to help you release emotional blockages, which is going to be very important, especially as Pluto moves into your 8th house of intimacy, deep and spicy bedroom type of intimacy as well. And you know, as a Cancer, you guys have very big emotions, and so whenever you have an emotional blockage, it is going to really be an obstacle for you in a way that it's not quite an obstacle for other signs, because Cancers are essentially ruled by their emotions, ruled by their family, ruled by the things that keep them stable at home in their personal life. So that's why I really love having sandalwood in here for y'all. It's very good for calming your mind and clearing negativity as well, that is associated with those emotional blockages. Orris is also in here, which is amazing for love and intimate connections and sensual, spicy times. Honeysuckle's also in here, which is very good for personal power and new beginnings, as well as just being honest, you know, self-disclosure. And looks, Pluto in the 7th house, very big personal power thing. So like you may find that while Pluto has been in your 7th house for a while, it's almost like you may have found yourself wanting to work in teams a lot more, or like wanting to almost feeling like you need other people to be powerful. Now, having this around is really going to help you to step into that personal power. There's also jasmine in here, which is very good for calming turbulent emotions and easing anxiety. And I also think it's going to help you to be more vulnerable too, because, you know, opening up is a big deal, especially if you have these emotional blockages, Cancer. Like I know that like it's probably been building up for quite some time. So the very calming essence of this scent is really gonna help you. And honestly, if you want to know like every single little thing, the cool thing about Dossier is that they have the notes on here, and you can just Google like, say, vanilla spiritual meaning, which is very good for sensuality as well, and inviting warmth into your relationships. So you can just Google like this note spiritual meaning and then like get a deeper picture of everything. But essentially that's why I picked this, so you guys can have a better time opening up and being more vulnerable. Okay, so with that being said, oh, it goes here. Now let's go ahead and get into Scorpio, because y'all have one of the most romantic love lives of all the signs. And let's talk about why, okay? So essentially, excuse me, I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited because look, I'm a Taurus. I love Scorpios. Like literally just about every person I've ever dated romantically has like had Scorpio in their chart somewhere, whether it's their sun, their moon, their rising, their Venus, whatever it is. I vibe with y'all. I love y'all. My mom is actually a Scorpio rising. And Floral Marshmallow, this scent might actually be my favorite scent of all time. And as a Taurus, I have so much perfume. Even just sitting right here, like I am almost like a perfume connoisseur in a way. I'm obviously amateur, obviously, but this might be my favorite scent of all time. So essentially the overall energy of this year for y'all is love. It's love and spicy intimacy and money. And so the big reason why is because Jupiter is in your 7th house of Taurus. So anytime Jupiter is in your 7th house, not only are you going to be presented with multiple romantic options, but if you're in a relationship already or getting into a relationship during that time, you are going to find it to be much easier. You're going to be much happier than usual. And especially in the second half of 2024, it's going to get very deep and bedroom type of intimacy. Bedroom type of intimate, as Jupiter moves into your 8th house as well, which is very good for money, and it's going to bring a boost of money. So say for example you're a Scorpio, especially a Scorpio rising, and you have like a business or you sell a product, or even if you're like a waiter or a waitress and you make tips, the money that you get as a tip or the money that you get when you sell a product, that counts as 8th house real estate. So like that's really just like money that other people are giving you in exchange for a service. So financial blessings as well. Saturn's also in your 5th house too. So like both of your romantic houses are very activated right now. You have Saturn in your 5th house, which is making you be a lot more discerning about who you're choosing romantically. Like you want to make a good choice and you want to stick with that choice. As a Scorpio, as a fixed sign, you prefer something or someone who is going to nourish your emotions and who's not going to switch up, someone who is very loyal. And that's why Taurus and Scorpios are like that. They're sister signs, the opposite signs actually. And so you also have the areas of your life that are changing the most: your 2nd house, your 6th house, and your 10th house. So financially and in your workspace, that's where a lot of the changes are going to come from for you guys, especially during Mercury retrogrades. I would advise you guys not to make any huge purchases while Mercury's retrograde, because since this is happening in all of the earth sign houses for you guys, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, there may be something that you may miss in a contract that you're signing or something. So that's like my biggest advice for you guys, is like don't make any huge purchases while Mercury's retrograde, because earth area deals with money. So I have recommended Floral Marshmallow. Now, you may have heard about how good this smells. Obviously, I'm pretty sure this is one of Dossier's like best sellers. I'm not shocked at all. I think like out of everything, this is my favorite scent, and there are a lot of them that come close, but this one smells beautiful, and it smells very similar to Killian's Love Don't Be Shy, which Rihanna is known for wearing. Like that's like her signature scent. Everybody talks about how good she smells. And also, as you know, Rihanna has been very publicly happy in a relationship, in a very good and stable relationship, so much so that they have been expanding their family. And you know what it takes to expand a family: signature scent. And this also has marshmallow in it, right? Marshmallow is an aphrodisiac, period. And so like if this is your sensual, like your signature scent, it is going to make you sensual on the daily. Not only is it going to make you more seductive and appear more seductive to other people, but it's also going to help you vibrate on that frequency. Now, floral mushroom, oh my gosh, I'm talking so quickly because I'm like, ugh, I love it. Anyways, floral marshmallow also has amber in it, which is very good for encouraging very strong decision making, which is very necessary for you guys because, like I said, especially if you're like a single Scorpio rising or Scorpio sun moon, you may just find yourself with a lot of options that you have to choose. So, you know, amber being in here is really going to help you figure out who's for you and who's not for you. Amber is also very good for spiritual cleansing and for confidence. So it's going to help you embrace, you know, that I'm that girl or I'm that dumb type of energy. And it's also very sensual as well. It also has vanilla, which is very good for encouraging warmth in your relationships, and it feels very comfortable. Like, honestly, you can smell the vanilla a lot. It's one of the base notes, so it's gonna last like the longest. Like, at the end of the, like, I have sprayed this perfume on like hoodies and like took them off and then put the hoodie on a separate day, and the hoodie still smells like the base, which is like amber, vanilla, and musk. So yeah, obviously Rihanna is very much known for wearing this aphrodisiac type of perfume. Obviously, you know that she has multiple children that she had back to back. She's in a very good and healthy and happy relationship. I'm not saying that, you know, your life is going to be Rihanna's all of a sudden, but it is going to help you vibe at a very sensual level and like lean into all of these romantic level ups that are like in store for you in 2024. So period. Okay, so now my beautiful Pisces babes. Hey y'all. Pisces sun, moon, or rising. I am a Pisces moon. So the Pisces moons, or not Pisces moons, sorry, Pisces of all, you know, sun, moon, or rising, but especially if you're a Pisces rising, your overall energy for 2024 is bad B vibes. Okay, you know, you're learning, you're leveling up personally and professionally, standing on business, if you will. Okay, because the biggest blessings that are happening for Pisces are from your 3rd house to your 4th house. So you're probably really vibing with a certain friend group, a new friend group, even like nurturing the relationship you have with your siblings as well. And especially as Jupiter moves into your 4th house towards the 2nd half of 2024, like around late May, this is where you may be moving. You may just be really loving the area that you live, getting along very well with your neighbors, just overall doing well in your personal life and in your chosen family too. Now Saturn is in your 1st house, babes. Saturn, essentially what it does is it establishes you, right? A lot of people like to demonize Saturn, but Saturn is very good for things that you want to last a long time. So anything that you've been working on for a long time, Pisces, you are reaping the benefits, reaping the rewards of all of your hard work. And most notably, I think of Sabrina Carpenter, right? Sabrina Carpenter, she has been making music for a very long time, but Saturn has been in Pisces ever since March 2023. And if you've noticed, Sabrina Carpenter has blown up. You know, people are really recognizing just how like versatile and talented she is. And she's been putting in a lot of work in the music industry and like in her life for a long time, and now she's reaping those rewards and really blowing up. You know, it's not like she came out of nowhere. And so Pisces, this is advice for you. If you've been working on anything for a long time or putting a lot of hard work in, whether that's recently you started putting in hard work or if you've been doing it for years, you will reap the benefits of that, especially as Saturn is in your 1st house. You're gonna have a much easier time establishing boundaries, which is very important for Pisces people because Pisces has the energy of like absorbing other people's vibes, and sometimes, you know, Pisces can keep people around them that aren't necessarily the best. And so, you know, Pisces people are very influenced by others. And so as Saturn is in your Pisces 1st house or in your sign Pisces, you're a lot less likely to deal with any BS that anybody has for you. So that's why I said earlier, standing on business, okay? Now also the Mercury retrogrades are going to be in your 2nd house, your 6th house, and your 10th house. And so there's really a lot of change that's going to be happening for you guys physically and financially. And obviously Saturn's all about hard work too. So like having Saturn in your sign is going to make you more motivated than you've ever been to become successful, to reach your goals. Like Saturn is actualizing your goals in real time. And the reason that I've essentially recommended Ambry Saffron, which smells very similar, it smells very similar to MFK's Baccarat Rouge 540, which, as you know, is a very expensive fragrance. And, you know, obviously it has saffron in it too, which is known as the world's most expensive spice. I don't know how accurate that claim is anymore, but especially for a while, like, to be coined that, it had to be like a very expensive spice for a very long time. And so saffron vibrates at the energy of wealth, passion, sensuality, and like bedroom type spiciness. And it also has jasmine in it too. So like, not only are you attracting this wealth, but you're also attracting this peace, this calm. And like, I think that's very necessary for you guys because you have Saturn in your first house, right? So it's like, dude, like, there are some very intense decisions that you're gonna have to make, some very intense life altering changes that are going on. And so I think having the jasmine in here is not only going to help you attract the success, and vibrate at the energy of success, but also to be calm while doing it. And it's gonna help you, it's gonna help to take you out of that lack mentality, out of that fear-based mentality. And it also has amber in it, which is very good for sensuality, confidence, and encouraging strong decision making, which obviously the more I talk about the energetic components of this, you can see why I've chosen this for you. But it's also, look, it just smells so good anyway. Like, oh my God. I know the Pisces babes are going to eat this up. And anybody who smells you is going to eat this up too. It also has cedar wood in it, which is very good for protecting your energy, which all Pisces need at all times. It's very good for attracting money and also helping you to step into your personal power, which I think is going to complement the energy of Saturn being in your first house throughout all of 2024 quite nicely. And honestly, even past 2024, because I don't think Saturn changes signs until either late 2025 or 2026, if I'm not quite sure. But anyway, with that being said, definitely embrace saffron. Pull up dossier.co on a whole separate tab, or just wait until this live is over because it's almost over. Get you one. And like I said, if you're late, this video is going to stay up on dossier.co, and it's also going to be on my YouTube sometime in the future. So love that for y'all. Don't trip if you missed any of your signs. And so with that being said, thank y'all so much for watching. I wish y'all all the abundance and happiness in 2024, and I really hope that you get your recommended scent for like whichever sign that you vibe with the most, or all of them. Hey, I'm not gonna judge you. And I really hope y'all just have a really good 2024. Thank you guys. Thank Dossier. Thank y'all for the perfume, because y'all, I'm literally using it every day. Like, I don't know if you can see like some of these that I haven't sprayed quite as much, and look at this one. I've sprayed it so much already. Anyways, thank you guys, and wishing y'all the best. And now let's close off with a sound bowl so that you guys can stay recentered as you enter, you know, the world, and as you enter dossier.co, and so you can make a very good decision on like what you're buying. Breathe in super slowly. Exhale through the nose. Love that. And if you guys want to see more of my content, you can follow me on my TikTok and Instagram at Destrology, and also on my YouTube it's called Destiny Jenae. And so essentially I post pretty much horoscopes every month on my YouTube as well. And I also have a website, destinyjenae.com, which you can find you know, some of the horoscope guides that I posted, and the 2024 astrology and manifestation journal, and so much more. Definitely it's worth, you know, taking a visit after you've ordered your dossier. So thank y'all, I love y'all, and I'm wishing y'all all the best in 2024, and it's been